Hi, I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C. I am joined by members of the D.C. Public Safety Team along with federal and regional partners today to brief on our preparations and tips for the 4th of July weekend. I am joined by Deputy Mayor Lindsay Appiah and the Chief of Police, Pamela Smith, who you will hear from, and then we will hear from our federal partners. So this is shaping up to be a very busy weekend in Washington, D.C., which we like. It's an exciting time. On the 4th of July, you can expect major events in the district, including our local neighborhood 4th of July festivities on Capitol Hill for the traditional Barracks Row 4th of July parade, as well as in the Palisades for All-American 4th of July parade that so many of us enjoy. The 4th of July district concert will also be held on Pennsylvania Avenue. The National Park Service fireworks show, the National Fireworks, will kick off on the National Mall. The Nationals will be playing a game at Nats Park. So there's a lot going on. We are proud, of course, to be the nation's capital and host to the federal government. And a highlight of that pride is the national fireworks. This is obviously the year before the semi-quincentennial, so we know that there is going to be an eye from all planners about how next year's event will go as well. So our goal continues to be that everybody has fun, stays safe, and enjoys the holiday, whether they are coming downtown to the mall, one of the neighborhood activities, or whether they're enjoying each other in their backyards or other community events. You will hear shortly from the U.S. Park Police about the lead safety operations that are in place. So please keep in mind that there will be numerous closures around the district, so we strongly encourage everyone to use Metro or other public transportation where possible. And Randy will say more about Metro operations, including the free Metro operations. So with that, I want to thank you for being here and for helping us make the 4th of July a safe and enjoyable celebration in the district. So now I want to turn to Chief Smith, who will be followed by Chief Taylor from the United States Park Police, Assistant Chief Kelleher from DC Fire and EMS, Director Osborne from DCH SEMA, and to close with Randy Clark from Metro. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser, and good morning, everyone. As we know, the 4th of July is a joyous time when our city pulls out all the stops to celebrate the birth of our nation. And I am here to say today that we are ready. We want our residents, our neighbors from across the region, and visitors from across the country to come out and enjoy one of the biggest celebrations of the year right here in Washington, D.C. As is the case every year, Independence Day is a full activation for the Metropolitan Police Department. It's an activation where we will have additional officers around all of our major events while also ensuring our ability to respond to calls for police service across our city. Of course, the largest event will be on the National Mall. Our members will work closely with our partners at the U.S. Park Police, who have the lead on securing National Park Service lands, and we will handle screening for those hoping to get closer to the fireworks. Parking restrictions and street closures will go into effect in and around the area of the National Mall beginning at 4 a.m. on Friday morning. These closures will include the footprint of the National Independence Day Parade, which travels down Constitution Avenue from 7th to 17th Street Northwest beginning at 11:45 a.m. There will also be parking restrictions and closures around Barracks Row and Palisades Independence Day parade routes beginning at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. What I will lead you to is a full list of closures and no parking zones. We have it posted in our news release section of our website on Muriel.dc.gov. We want anyone planning to travel around the city on Friday to use Metro Rail and Metro bus services as much as possible. Metro is always the best way to get to the National Mall fireworks show, and this year will be no different. For those of you planning to spend time on 4th of July in the water, our Harbor Patrol unit will be enforcing a no boating zone in the D.C. shoreline of the Potomac River from 14th Street Bridge to just north of the Arlington Memorial Bridge near the back of the Lincoln Memorial. We will have an anchoring zone that will be available immediately adjacent to the closure area. And we've also heard the concerns of our community regarding illegal fireworks. In addition to DC Fire and EMS conducting their investigations regarding illegal fireworks, this year we will assign 2 patrol officers to each district to solely respond to fireworks calls or responses. Beginning tomorrow, you can visit DC 311 and use the illegal fireworks request, or you can call 311 for any fireworks-related information or activity. Whether you are traveling downtown, stopping by a parade, or just celebrating at your home, your safety is our top priority. Currently, there are no known credible threats or specific threats to the July 4th celebrations, but we always encourage you to remain vigilant. And as we do before all major events, we remind you that if you see something, say something. Call 911 in an emergency or reach out to our tip line at 202-727-9099, or you may text us at 50411. Please have a safe 4th of July, and I'll now turn it over to U.S. Park Police Chief Jessica Taylor.
Good morning. The United States Park Police is committed to ensuring a safe and fun day for everyone that visits the National Mall for Independence Day tomorrow. Whether this is your first time visiting or you come every year, we are excited to welcome you to America's front yard. We'll have a full force commitment. You'll see a strong, visible presence of Park Police officers in and around the National Mall. Specifically, nothing happens in this city without partnerships. So I want to thank a couple of our partners that are adding some extra officers to help us out. Obviously, DC's MPD, the FBI, Montgomery County Police Department, Arlington County Police, Prince George's County Sheriff's Office, Virginia State Police, MWA, Metro Transit Police, and the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. We couldn't do this event without them, and we appreciate their support. So look, importantly, I need you to plan ahead, right? We anticipate many families coming out of the mall, small children. Make sure your kids know your phone number, right? Or put it in their pocket. We'll have a family reunification area if you get separated from your kids. As you heard from Chief Smith, road closures will go into effect around 4 a.m. tomorrow and will impact most roads surrounding the National Mall. This includes part of Constitution Avenue, Independence Avenue, and the Memorial Bridge. Now remember, you'll need to pass through security access areas to secure certain points to view the 4th of July celebration. So these are the items I need you to leave at home, right? So alcohol, weapons, fireworks, drones, and coolers larger than 36 quarts. There's a full list of road closures, further prohibited items, and more details. Please visit www.nps.gov/FOJU. We also thank our National Park Service counterparts who's here today with us as well. And we're all excited for an enjoyable Independence Day tomorrow. Next, I'd like to introduce the Assistant Chief for DC Fire, Kelleher.
Thank you, Chief. Independence Day is a time for gathering, reflection, and celebration, but it's also a time when safety must be on top of our mind, especially when it comes to fireworks and heat-related emergencies in the District of Columbia. This July the 4th, the District of Columbia Fire and EMS Department will be staffing an additional 71 units and an additional 246 personnel above our normal daily roster. So let's talk about fireworks safety. The safest way to enjoy fireworks is simple. Leave them to the professionals. Every year, we see the consequences of unsafe use. The most common injuries and the most common areas we see injuries are to hands and fingers that rate a 36%. head, face, and ears rate a 22%. And never be fooled by the so-called harmless fireworks. Even sparklers have caused 1,700 emergency room visits, many involving burns. In fact, burns make up 37% of fireworks-related ER visits. Fireworks also start fires, thousands every year across the nation. Here in Washington, D.C., we have already received 23 fireworks-related reports in June and an additional 4 since July the 1st through our arson tip line. If you see illegal fireworks being used in the District of Columbia, here's how you can report them. Year-round, you can call our arson hotline at 202-673-2776, or you can visit fems.dc.gov. And starting tomorrow, July the 4th through July the 6th, you can use the DC 311 app and select illegal fireworks request, or call 311 and choose option number 1 for fireworks. Our Office of Unified Communications is also dedicated to dedicated call takers for these reports and will coordinate them through the fireworks units in each MPD district. In case of an injury or property damage, always call 911 immediately. Now let's turn to another hidden danger of July 4th, heat-related illnesses. With large crowds and high temperatures, the risk of heat stroke becomes very real. Watch for signs of serious heat illness, body temperatures over 104 degrees Fahrenheit, disorientation, seizures, and unconsciousness. If you suspect someone is suffering from heat stroke, call 911 without delay. Move the person to a shaded or cool area, remove excess clothing, and use cool water or ice packs to lower their temperature while waiting for help. So as we gather with our families and communities to celebrate this nation, stay safe, stay aware, and please share these tips with family, friends, and neighbors of the District of Columbia. Together, we can ensure this 4th of July is remembered for celebration and not tragedy. Thank you, and have a safe holiday. I would now like to introduce Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency Director Clint Osborne.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. As we prepare to celebrate Independence Day in the district, we want to ensure that everyone can enjoy the festivities safely while staying informed about any potential impacts to your plans. Our public safety teams across the district, including D.C. Homeland Security and Emergency Management, the Metropolitan Police Department, D.C. Fire and EMS, all of our federal partners, we've been working closely together to ensure a safe and secure environment for all residents and visitors. We encourage everyone, as the Chief said, to stay hydrated, wear sunscreen, and take breaks in the shade as you enjoy outdoor events, especially given the warm temperatures forecasted this weekend. Our temperatures are going to be in the high 80s. Our humidity should be relatively low, so it should be a great day to be out on the mall, but a little bit of prevention in terms of preparing yourself and your family can go a long way. We also want to remind everyone to sign up for our Alert DC messaging at alert.dc.gov. Alert DC is the district's official emergency notification system, providing real-time updates on severe weather, traffic disruptions, public safety incidents, and event-related updates you may need during the 4th of July celebrations. By signing up for Alert DC, you'll receive timely information directly to your phone or email, helping you make informed decisions and stay aware as you move throughout the city. Speaking of moving throughout the city, I know General Manager Clark's going to talk about it, but we want everybody to remember the closures downtown are going to make transportation through and around the city challenging. Pack your patience in addition to your water and your sunscreen, and when you can, use Metro. And always report suspicious activity. If you see something, say something. Together, we can ensure this Independence Day remains safe, joyful, and memorable for everyone. And we thank you and wish you a very safe and happy 4th of July. I'd like to introduce General Manager Randy Clark from Metro.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, first off, thank the mayor for having us here today. As always, just such a great partnership between Metro and the district, and of course, all of our federal partners who we work with on a daily basis. And I'm joined with Chief Anzalo. A couple things to point out. I think it's been clear by everyone that has spoken, from the mayor all the way through, the best way to enjoy the July 4th festivities is to take Metro. And, so to celebrate America's birthday, travel on America's Metro system is what we're really saying. We are going to have a lot of extra service. As the Chief said, all hands on deck for MPD. For us, it's all hands on deck for the whole organization. This is our kind of annual Super Bowl here for Metro. It's one of our busiest days of the year, and it's a very significant event that we're really proud to deliver for our community. So a lot of extra service, especially after 5 p.m., will be ramping up significantly. Also, after 5 p.m., we are going fare-free. The board announced that. So our goal here is to get everyone around and enjoy this fantastic celebration. Before that, you can also use what we call tap, ride, and go, so credit and debit card. It's another option, especially for maybe some infrequent travelers on Metro to use to get around the system. We encourage you to download and use Metro Pulse. It's our app for all of our real-time information. You can do live chat with anything that you might have on the system. A couple other things to mention. We are now open until 2 a.m. on weekends. We just started that 2 weeks ago. So Friday and Saturday night are open until 2. We open now earlier on the weekends as well at 6 a.m. So while July 4th is the big celebration on the mall, we also have Beyonce concert later. So we are prepared for a lot of crowding related to that. It's at Morgan Boulevard, but we expect to be okay for the 2 a.m. close. We'll be watching her concert on Monday on the 7th, and if we have to stay open later, we will do that to make sure everyone can get home safely as well. You'll also notice we have Metro wrapped vehicles that we always do for 4th of July, so both rail, bus, and our Metro Access vehicle wrapped out there, and you can track those on our live tracker. And obviously, the safety part is our core value here at Metro, and that's the thing we're most concentrated on. So while Metro is a 7-year low for crime, and actually currently this year is on track for the lowest crime year in the history of Metro, we are going to be out with full force. We ask people to text MTPD with any information, which is 696-873. We also have an enormous amount of uniformed staff. As the chief said, if you see something, say something. We are very prepared, but we need everyone in the community to be vigilant, and we are here to deliver a fantastic 4th for everybody. So again, thanks, Mayor, for having us. Look forward to any further information anyone needs.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to make sure I got to introduce everyone. And Heather McGaffin, our Director of OUC. So she is representative of a lot of people that are going to be answering 911 and 311 calls throughout the weekend. So thank you, Heather, for being here. And I want to introduce to some the new Chief of the United States Capitol Police, Michael Sullivan. So please welcome Michael to our public safety team in the National Capital Region. So with that, we'll take a few questions. Yes, please introduce yourself.
Oh, thanks. Hi, my name is Juan. I'm from the Washington Post. I have 2 questions, one directed to Mayor Bowser and another to Chief Pamela Smith. My first question is, to Mayor Bowser, can you say any more about the shooting of the congressional internal Monday night? And are you worried about any political fallout from Congress members who are talking about using this incident and crime in the city as a way of retracting the district's?
Well, let's stay on July 4th. Yeah.
Questions about the checkpoints.
Yep.
Can somebody just tell us where they are, what time they'll
Sure.
open?
Sure, so we're going to have 6 different checkpoints. Their locations, because I'll muddle it up here in front of everybody, but the locations are on the website I gave, right? NPS.gov/FOJU, right? 4th of July, first 2 letters of each.
What time do they open?
I'm not sure what time they open. 2 p.m. I just found out from a secret viewer in the back. Yes, 2 p.m.
Thank you. And I just had a quick question about Metro. Are Metro buses free as well after 5 p.m.?
Yeah, Mark, all services, so Metro Rail, Metro Bus, and Metro Access after 5 p.m. will be free fare.
Raphael with Channel 9. Are there any changes this time around? Especially, I did notice, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but extra fencing going up around the National Mall area that I'm not used to seeing, but perhaps it's been a lot of 4th of July.
Right. I don't know that it's related to the 4th of July. I'm told by the chief that United States Secret Service requested that it go up around the White House, and it may be related to foreign visits. Yeah.
Mayor, are you planning to go to the Beyonce concert?
No. I'll be right here in the best city in the world. I was going to make a joke when Randy said Beyonce was coming, and I was going to say, where? RFK? So, soon.
Can I,
Yes.
I want to ask, I don't know if, I guess the chief can answer this. Having the 2 officers patrol for illegal fireworks, is that new for the district this year, or is that something done before? Then
It is new. We started it, we kind of did it last year over in our 7th district, and we thought it was a useful tool. We know we get a lot of calls for fireworks, and to ensure that we're also providing support to the residents, but also to fire and EMS, we thought it would be appropriate to have 2 police patrol officers respond solely to firework calls. We know we get a lot of those.
Was there like an impetus for us? I know there's an apartment building last year, wasn't there?
Up in the 4th district, yeah, and I think Councilmember Louis George and I talked about that last night, but this decision was made earlier during the week as we were planning for our July 4th activities.
And then also wanted to ask, with regard to what to look for, obviously we're in a heightened threat environment. I know you said specifically no threat to 4th of July celebrations in D.C., but what can you tell people? We're in the city where we still don't know who left the pipe bombs outside of the Capitol, or the DNC, I should say, and the RNC. What do you tell people to look out for? What is suspicious activity?
I think you have to use your moral compass, right, and your own values. As if you feel uncomfortable about something or anything, just pick up the phone and call 911. That's what we're there for. Again, there are no credible threats, but I mean anything that's unusual for you, anything that you might see that shouldn't be in a particular place, whether it's a bag, any of those things, you should pick up the phone and contact us and allow the law enforcement personnel to determine what that what indication that might be or what that situation might be. So we're asking again everyone to be vigilant, hyper vigilant, if you will. If you see something, say something.
Question for OUC. You have software that can pinpoint people calling 911 from cell phones. How critical is that now in this day and age where you have huge crowds down in the mall and people need help right away? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So thank you. We have software that can pinpoint some callers, not all callers, and it's required that it be a 50-yard radius. So when you think about hundreds of callers or thousands of people down on the mall, it's going to be really hard. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to ask folks to find locations, look for landmarks, and that's going to be really critical. It's not just going to be about the location. It's going to be an interactive conversation with our call takers about things that they're seeing and going to a landmark where, if they can, where they can meet the responders.
Washington Times. Piggybacking off the threats question from earlier, maybe this is better for the chiefs, but the FBI and the DHS put out a bulletin this week warning about potential lone wolf attacks in the same vein as the New Orleans New Year's Day attack. Just wondering, I think they they specified New York City and San Francisco in that bulletin, but wondering how applicable it is to the district and what you guys can do to account for that.
And so, as you know, we work very closely with all of our federal partners and local and state partners when we're planning any large-scale event such as July 4th. We are very well aware of some of the activities that obviously happened at the early part of this year in New Orleans as well as in out west in California. And we plan for this. This is not new for us. I think we have a very good public safety team that comes together, if not on a weekly basis, a bi-weekly basis, as a weekly basis as we are leading up to this event to ensure that we have the appropriate resources allocated across the city. In particular, when we think about our parade, the parade route, we use dump trucks. We have officers that are also lining the street to ensure that the parade route and the crowd has the necessary public safety apparatus around those particular events. And so this year is no different than how we have positioned ourselves in prior years. And I'll say the bulletins do come out. We pay very close attention to those bulletins, but we're also in conversations daily. I mean, even this morning I was in conversation with FBI, WFO, ADIC, Steve Jensen, again, having conversations about what they may be seeing and what our other partners might be seeing at this time. They're used just to ensure that we don't have any vehicles or large vehicles or anything coming through the parade route. We do that every year. It's nothing new this year. Yep.
Ashley, ABC 7. Would you guys mind just reiterating what's available for teens this weekend? Obviously, back in our day, we were all outside July 4th weekend.
What's available for?
For teens this weekend and juveniles. I know we have the Jam, the DPR events, and then also if there's anything in addition to just specifically for this weekend of July 4th.
I would ask everybody to look at summer.dc.gov for all of the events. I actually don't have a list of them in front of me that are specifically for young people, but at summer.dc.gov, you will be able to find all of the events. We also host a family-friendly concert on Pennsylvania Avenue, so it's slightly removed from the crush on the mall, but we will have a number of artists that people enjoy and kids can enjoy as well. All right, I'm going to be able to just take a couple more. Yep.
Thank you. Yes, Catalina with Telemundo 44. I'm wondering, there's a lot of people buying fireworks now that want to celebrate. What is the advice or what is allowed for people that want to purchase these fireworks and use them? Where should they head if they want to?
Well, I'm going to ask the chief to come back up. Is it Chief Kelleher to come back up? But I do want to reiterate what he said. There's no better display than right on the National Mall. It's free. You can even ride down for free. You can enjoy a lot of festivities. There will be concerts. There will be, some restaurants will be open. So you can just have a good time downtown. Most everything is illegal in the district that you hear. Boom, boom, all that's illegal. If it shoots, it's also illegal. So there's no fun legal fireworks, okay? But I will allow the chief to be more technical.
That was very technical. That was great. As the mayor said, anything that explodes, anything that's a projectile, basically anything you can hear is illegal. So same type of reporting mechanism. You can call the arson tip line, 202-673-2776, or again, starting tomorrow through the 6th, calling 311 to report those illegal fireworks. And that's going to be the best case. And obviously, go to the public displays that are professional. So.
All right. Yep.
Peace and blessings. Sam P.K. Collins with the Washington Informer. 2 questions. First for Mr. Clark. We're about in the first week of the new Metro bus changes. What feedback are you getting from residents, especially with this weekend coming up and you encouraging us to take the Metro out and about?
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Great question. So, this is the Better Bus Network is what obviously you're referring to. First time in 50 years we've changed the entire bus network. Overall, we're feeling pretty good about as a macro level, how the entire process went. A good example of that, I think on Monday we had 5 buses that were off route and 4 of the 5 were in non-revenue. So only 1 operator was off route and with thousands of people trained and all those changes. There are minor issues and we're collecting and analyzing those. I can't say enough about our partners at DDOT and some of our other regional partners like DDOT's around the region. Working super collaboratively. Sometimes there's some missing signs, or we had signs and now they're not there. A couple little tweaks here and there. So overall, going well. Like any change like this, you generally hear more from people that are not as happy as people that are happy. But we are monitoring that very closely. Our call center activity is up significantly. Mostly, it's just kind of clarity of questions. Most people that take the bus are residents of our region, and once they learn the new trick, if you will, they're good to go. So we're going to be doing a lot of engagement again in August, just before school happens, because we want to really make sure parents and kids know about those changes as well.
My last question for Mayor Bowser, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So this weekend, 249 years. You look in the history books, of course, during American independence, our situation as a people was just abysmal. Now, this weekend, you as a mayor who has cemented her legacy, what's on your mind given the time period that we're in with what they call fascism and with the rollback of many of the liberties that our people have fought for in the 60s and beyond?
What's on my mind, very practically speaking, I think that I'll start there, is that we have a bill that's likely going to pass. If it hasn't passed while we're sitting here, we expect it to be signed, and we would immediately have to understand the impacts on the district's budget and DC residents. So that's like top of mind. I'm also want all of our festivities to go off well, but I start thinking about family gatherings, neighborhood gatherings. We want people to have fun. We don't want them to drink too much. We don't want them to get in fights with their relatives. We don't want them to use guns. So we want people to have a good time and be safe. Then I think beyond the practical, we will stay focused just as a city on making sure that we're getting through this period in our nation's history. We're going to get on the other side of it, and we have to be stronger. And so I think about that each and every day. So this will be a good time for me to address the first question about a violent act in our city, which appears to be an uninvolved person who lost his life in D.C. And so no mayor, no police chief, no mother, father, community member ever wants to hear that. I know that the chief and her team are engaged in an investigation, and it's our pledge to bring whoever is responsible to justice. Okay, I can take a couple more. You haven't asked? Yes. Well, we do have to get the bill from the council. I'll sign it, and then the police chief would have that extended authority. So I'm going to get to work on that right now. Yes.
A follow-up on that, Mayor. There have been some neighborhoods that have been thrown around with these extended zones of where they would exist. Can we get a little bit more clarity on that? And then I know last time when we talked at the wharf, there was also, you talked about the network that goes into kind of monitoring these large groups, and they were saying, hey, from the metro system, we can kind of pinpoint where they're coming. Just to walk through, because obviously this is going to be like the perfect scenario where it's a celebration, there's a lot of stuff to do in the city, and people could be coming from all parts of it.
Sure. Let me ask the chief to just kind of address how the Real-Time Crime Center and partnerships around the region help us keep an eye on things. And I don't think there's any secret into the areas where we've had large youth disturbances. And so I would suspect, though, the legislation lays out what's necessary for the chief to make that type of determination.
Thank you, Mayor. I think what I'll start by saying that there could not be a stronger partnership in this space when we talk about young people and disorderly conduct and criminal activity than what we have with Metro Transit. Chief Anzalo and I have been in conversations about with regard to the curfew zones, and what that will look like. And what it will look like for us in particular is that once the curfew zone has been declared, we will give the young people an opportunity to leave the area. And we have to be mindful that they're not adults, they're kids, so we have to give them time to leave the area. The most important thing is making sure for us is that we have great communication with Metro Transit so that they can be prepared to deal with the large crowds that are coming down the escalators onto the platforms and onto the trains, which is really important for us, where we have a memorandum of understanding where we allow some of our police officers to work alongside Metro Transit police as well. When we think about the curfew itself, clearly there are several areas around the city. It doesn't always stay in one the kids don't always kind of come in one location. I think the one thing that I really want to be clear about is that curfew is a violation. It is not a criminal offense that requires us to arrest young people, right? And I want to make sure we're clear about that. It is a violation, and what that means for us is that when we declare an area a curfew zone, we give the opportunity for the kids to leave the area. We will, at that point, those kids who refuse to leave the area, we will actually follow the same guidelines that we do with curfews, right? Take them, place them in the vehicle, transport them to YSC, drop them off, and have the parent come to pick them up. And that will be the same format that we'll have. If, of course, young people are engaged in criminal activity, we will take the necessary steps to do the arrest and place the charges and go from there. Okay. Yes, sir.
Can you provide any update on the investigation into the fatal shooting of the intern? Is there any progress on that investigation that you can update us?
So what I can say is that is that right now we are working very, very closely with ATF as well as the FBI. We do have some good video footage, and I say good video footage that's a little grainy, so we're bringing in the FBI to kind of help enhance the video solution so we can see a little bit better. We did find and recover the black Acura in one of our neighboring jurisdictions, so we're working with that area, and we're also working with ATF with regards to the ballistics. So our major crimes division unit detectives are really doing some great work in making sure that we can kind of bring this case to a close. Well, I think right now it's really grainy. The hope is that we will. If we can get the FBI to support us in getting the video enhanced a little bit, we may be able to push out some images that may be useful for the public.
And my last on this, have you or Mayor Bowser spoken to the member of Congress who the intern worked for?
I have not spoken to the member of Congress as of yet. I mean, as you know, yesterday morning was the time period where the family came in and identified Eric. And again, you know, I shared late yesterday evening, I think I met with Jackie Benson to share our condolences to the family, the friends, the classmates of Eric. Such a tragedy. And again, it's something that we don't ever want to happen in our city.
The woman and the child doing, and were they also innocent bystanders in this
So
situation?
I'm not from, so the woman is, she's doing okay. She's in stable condition. The juvenile, the child, I can say we believe was kind of engaged as part of the group. And right now he is at a local hospital with injuries to his spine. Yes.
Chief, my colleague on scene this morning was reporting that there were different locations where the victims were. Is this to say that this was a rolling thing where suspects are shooting and it was going for a while, block or two? Can you describe that?
That's not based on my account of what I viewed on the video as of right now. What I can say is that we believe that the two groups had an altercation that did not result initially in gunfire, but what we do know is that at the location in the 1200 block of 7th Street Northwest is where the gunfire took place. I will not say an exchange of gunfire, but where the gunfire took place. Yep. So we recovered an object. We're still trying to determine what that is based on the video. And when I say recovered, we've seen some images. We have not physically taken into custody any guns, knives, anything like that, but we do have some video image that may help us along the way with discovering whether or not a gun was used in this particular case. Thank you. Okay. All right.